Let's take a look at this problem. We've got 2 plus 3 over x and then we got 2 minus 5 over x squared. Now a complex fraction is a fraction inside of a fraction. A complex rational expression is when you have x's involved, which is what we have here. And I should have had Word up and running, so let me bring it up. And let's refresh our memory on the steps. Now I'm going to give you steps for more complex problems, so you won't have to do all the steps on this particular example here. Okay. So this is simplifying complex rational expressions. Now, our first step is to factor all the inner denominators. Then step 2 is to find the LCM of all the inner denominators and multiply everything by it. And we'll see what I mean by everything with the example. Step 3, unless everything is already a product on the top / bottom, then get rid of parentheses. Step 4, factor the top, factor the bottom, and step 5, cancel, if possible. Okay, so let's take a look at this problem here. When I say inner denominators, there's fractions inside the fraction. This 3 over x is a fraction inside of the bigger fraction, and it's got its own denominator, and that referred to as an inner denominator. And same with this x squared down here. Okay, factor all the inner denominators. Well, there's nothing to factor here really. Step 2, find the LCM of all the inner denominators and multiply everything by it. Well, the LCM would be x squared. When you got x to a powers, it's always your largest power. So we're going to multiply everything by x squared. We'll multiply it times the 2, and we'll multiply it times the 3 over x. We multiply by what's separated by pluses, minuses, and a division symbol here. Although you want to keep single fractions together if you had a more complex problem. And we'll do the same thing on the bottom. Multiply that by x squared, and multiply the 5 over x squared by x squared. Well, that x squared cancels that, and this x cancels one of these x's and leaves us a single x up here. So we're going to have 2x squared plus 3x over 2x squared minus 5. Now step 3, unless everything's already a product from top and bottom, then get rid of parentheses. There are no parentheses in this one, so that's done. Step 4, factor the top, factor the bottom. Your hope is that something would cancel. On the top, it would be GCF, because they both have an x in common. On the bottom, that doesn't factor. Kind of looks like different two squares, but we can't. So on top we'll factor out an x, and that gives us 2x plus 3 over 2x squared minus 5. Now your hope is, and that's what step 5 is, to cancel if possible. Well, after I get done factoring, these aren't the same, so I can't cancel those. So that's as far as we can go. Some books will leave it in this form, where it's factored out, and some books will put it into this form. you really have to look at your instructions and see what it's referring to. But that would be the simplified form of that problem.